Okay, Timber instead.
I mean, we saw how
Still,
effective Timber was last game. However, the Timber saw last game was a final second phase pick and was practically no, it was a last phase pick and was practically uncontested.
they really need to focus on getting him
10 seconds
as good a
remaining.
lane as the previous Timbersaw did, because they really did give him
5
just
seconds
an absolute
remaining.
free time versus Tano. And there was nothing he could do. It was Beastmaster versus Timbersaw in a 1v1. No supports rotated. We saw a lone rotate on the win once, but if
Radiant's
Timbersaw gets a
team
free lane, it feels like it's just over.
Oh, all right. I've been seeing this combo recently as well. People are going back to the Dark Willow Mars, and Mars isn't banned. It's relatively good against the Timber, and it's good against the IO because IO,
10 seconds
if he gets
remaining.
caught inside the arena, I don't think IO is one of the few exceptions that
5
could get out of the
seconds
arena,
remaining.
right?
I'm not sure how it works because I think if he gets bounced, it might break his ulti, but he can also I don't know. One of those strange exceptions. Mars ult has a few of them that are a little bit confusing. I think he cannot tether out though, if that's what you're
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
that's what I was more alluding to. Yeah, I didn't think you could
Dire
tether out
team
because
pick.
technically he's not airborne.
Yeah, he's still ground level. Heightened Dota is one of the most complex mechanics, I think. But they go with the Abaddon, one of the best heroes to pair with it. Walking in, I think that this is going to be a Scourge McDuck IO, something that they've been practicing
10
quite a lot
seconds
recently.
remaining.
I'm
And I mean, do
excited
you
to see
just
it.
pick the Mars?
I mean, I think
5
with
seconds
the
remaining.
Abaddon being picked up here, it feels like the Mars might be not much of a weaker
Dire
decision,
team
but
back.
it's still such a good hero. But it looks like they're gonna play it safe. They want to get their versus Timbersaw versus Abaddon hero, and Ursa is going to be that response. Just continual damage into the Timbersaw. Usually, this is where you would see the Monkey King actually, because Monkey King versus Timbersaw is one of the other very classic
10
combinations because
seconds
of
remaining.
the extra
Radiant
damage. But
team back.
Ursa's actual extra damage from Fury Swipes is more
Monkey's
reliable.
Yeah, Monkey banned out in the first phase as well, and I didn't consider it, but I guess
Dire
Brax could
team
be
back.
just playing the Razor. This might be maybe this is something 4Zoomers have practiced, where this is the kind of ideal counter versus the IO in lane. Maybe that's what they're kind of leaning forward, because I didn't think it would be a non 1-2 Razor, but with the Ursa pick, I can't imagine that Gunner's going to be
10
on the Razor,
seconds
but
remaining.
kind of have to wait and see the matchups, I suppose.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, this is the cut just don't have time to really like consider any more of a flexibility sort of draft here
Radiant
outside
team
of
back.
that Scrooge McDuck IO like you're talking about. I want to see it. I really do. But it feels like I'm just looking at 4Zoomers damage and they have damage. Whereas the cut have the Timber Saw we saw last game was a strong Timber Saw.
10 seconds remaining.
And if we can get that again in this game, then you have the damage. Like the cut has the
5
damage in the form
seconds
of the current
remaining.
heroes that we could see indefinitely
When
under
Team pick.
circumstances.
both teams clearly think that the other wants a mid laner. We've just lost, some of the best in the patch. And taking away that Void Spirit at the end of the day from Little Nick might get pushed to play that Bat Rider that we also saw him pick up a little bit. And that's some CN Dota right there. The
10
still
seconds
picking Bat
remaining.
Rider and then getting the Ag Shard with the Ags with Abaddon. You
Oh
just
my
lasso your
gosh.
5
Abaddon and
seconds
drag him
remaining.
around.
I've seen that. Yeah, you do the savior Abaddon lasso, and then you lasso somebody that's behind them with a double down. Oh man, I can't believe I saw that for the first time. I'm like, that's actually insane because it still sets the cooldown to 20 seconds if you open a lasso on your ally. Oh wait, you were talking about 4 Zoomers getting it.
No, no, no. I, I
Okay,
I
that's
would
what I
like
thought.
the cut. I would like the
Okay,
cut to get it, but
that's what I thought because like the 20-second cooldown with the Aghanim Scepter thing is just insane. I feel like
no, yeah.
it's not actually like not a cheat
Radiant
more or less,
team pick.
but man, it feels like that. You see Invoker though.
And Gunner Invoker, I mean, it's very good versus Abaddon, very good versus Timbersaw, especially the Quas Wex. It's just on the list of heroes where if you take away their mana, they really struggle to accomplish their goal,
10
especially when they're
seconds
running at your
remaining.
towers. So, a fantastic tool, I think, for them to
5
use in this game.
seconds remaining.
And looks like the last pick is going to be Batrider themselves. Well, you called it. They're going to do it. We're going to see the Batrider chain lasso with your Abaddon. Oh, no, I said Abaddon. Whatever, that's how I see it now. It's all thanks to
Abaddon?
those EU casts.
We'll call him Pingu. But yeah, this is another hero that Lil Nick has been used quite well. It's nerfed. It's very nerfed. It's been nerfed sequentially. It's been the one hero that I think has consistently been changed as these small patches have rolled out. But it is quite a hard matchup, I think, for Gunnar in some of these cases. But I don't know. It's one of those mid matchups where if you get a little too ahead of yourselves, you really can die as the Batrider. Like Gunnar gets one good cold snap off, you just die underneath his tower, you die trying to get a rune. And Gunnar doesn't care about runes, but he's really good at taking it out of Little Nick's hands, depending on which playstyle he decides to go, if he's going to have Forge Spirits running around, or if he's going to have something else. But I feel like the Quas Lex is quite guaranteed, because there's not really too much setup in the side lanes to get him those easy Sun Strikes.
Well, I mean, eventually everybody will. I don't say everybody will build a Yules, but that is probably the only real setup you have. I just feel like I would have liked that Mars better. Because Mars is that setup hero. I actually love talking about setup heroes though, because it's just most people think that Marana is your setup hero.
Prepare for battle.
You can't.
She needs some help though.
Yeah, it's just Marana needs help for everything to latch in order for that one to be the play there. But I mean, it looks like it is gonna be this. Oh my gosh!
Well, and after watching 2 games in a row, yeah, it is going to be this
This
Aphelion
is gonna be such a good game to watch. I've never seen. I don't want to say I've never seen it. I've seen people do Safe Lane IO before, but I haven't seen a spectacle of amazement in a long time.
And we'll see what he decides to get, but it all goes back to the Quinn Callahan. He's the one I think that really started getting it popular in NA again. I've seen 3 people try to find this mid ward on 4Zoomers. That's funny.
Did they end up getting it? No,
Nope.
it's
not
even
even
there.
there.
It's not even
It's
in
not
mid.
even there. Yep. But I do wonder if if this is the hero, if Razor is the almost natural counter that they've researched to play versus the IO, because that was their solution to it. That was their 8th pick in the draft. So I'm really expecting a lot out of Brax, I think, in this game. But standard lanes, they're sending wait, is it? Yeah, Timber versus Ursa is the only sore spot, I guess, but shouldn't be too bad. You can always pull, you can always cut the wave. But looks like with the items that A&A has, or Vol, that they're going to be laning. They're going to try and get some levels. They already get Timber Chain skilled up as well.
So it looks like they're swapping out. Sammy's going to run to the bot lane now.
Oh, you're right.
And you just saw the Dark Willow TP to the top, the walk back from the Razor. Yeah,
And this is what they wanted on 4Zoomers, I think, because there's no really good lane for Tingle King to go in. I mean, you're either laning versus a Razor or an Ursa.
Wait,
When they scout him out, so I guess they thought it was a double swap, I guess. But now Sammy is TPing top.
Weird. All right. I guess they want to keep this anyway. I mean, it was like you're talking about, though. It's not a terrible situation for them. They could kind of just walk into the jungle at any point in time. Ursa, one of those few heroes that has an early jungle potential, while Timber saw the same sort of story. But, I mean, Timber's just going to stay in the lane the whole entire time. Husky's not really going to be able to output that much damage, and Sammy very early is going to have to rely on any follow-ups from Husky in order to get any kills in the lane. But it's safe to say that this is not the easiest lane for Husky, as he's just getting laid into spell after spell. One right-click left would have done the trick.
And that's why we don't usually see it. I mean, usually we see this Dark Willow in that 4 position because she does have that good animation. She is quite annoying when she gets a little bit of levels and farm, but I don't know. I feel like maybe with this 5 that Tingle King will be able to get a little bit more out of the lane than he otherwise would be getting. But they picked it for a very good reason. It's very good versus the IO. If they ever use the relocate, that's going to come into play later on in this game.
Wait, if they ever use the relocate, do core IOs not spec it?
No. They do spec it, but
Okay,
if
good.
they ever try to go in, the fear, the brambles, it's something that's
Right.
quite annoying, you know.
Do core IOs go for the new Ag Shard?
I have not seen it. I don't
Ending
think
tether
so.
stuns enemies touching it. Oh, it's the old tether.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
the old
top.
tether.
Sammy's in a bit of trouble here. Looks like they're at least trying to find a trade with Vol here, but actually Tingle King isn't able to really dive. Like, he can't really just fight Sammy under the tower very early like this. So it's
Yeah, and without the
Yeah.
boots up on Rubik,
Oh, mid.
they with the Cursed Crown skill build, they were just able to get I think 2 or 3 stacks on him and then commit for the kill. At the same
Oh.
time, Brax is just having a free time bottom, so this is quite good for the Zoomers so far.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about him. He's like an IO is, I don't want to say an IO is relatively hard to counter damage-wise in the lane, but it's just IO doesn't really pressure. I mean, I say that though, he's not actually high. He's 7-2 to the 15-1 of the IO. But that might also be with maybe some side camp pulls, because you could see that there is a small camp that is dead.
Yes, and that is the thing with safe lane IO. It's almost in the same line of thinking as like Alchemist, where it's not a cheese hero per se, but it's definitely among the lines where you get these super strong item timings. You try to get them as fast as you can, and it makes or break your game basically. If they have too rough of a game, then you can just lose with the IO, or you win and it feels really great. You know, you get your 16-minute Ags Dominator, and then you just walk down mid lane, and there's nothing they can do about it.
You
But this
remember,
1v1 is pretty quiet.
you remember at the start of the patch, the brand new patch, like the big one, not the baby patch we had recently.
The shards, the
Not
initial
really the
injection of
shard,
them.
actually. You remember when you were reading the Mach 2 Helm of the Dominator?
Oh yes,
Yeah, that item's not even in the game.
that item.
Speaking of not in the game, though, little Nick getting cold
Nick.
snapped up here in the top lane. Abaddon is
Dire's
nearby,
middle tower is
so
under
the heal
attack.
is going to be there. He'll be perfectly fine. Salve on him as well. Popping off. Good timing for Pingu.
And Pingu kind of is forced into this role because Brax is stuck. Not necessarily Brax is stuck bottom, but he needs to mirror Ocean. Otherwise, Nick is going to suffer in lane. We saw the almost kill him there, but at the same time, now Scourge is going to suffer because Brax is a 1v1 with Razor. He's going to see all your damage. You need to last it with only the spirits. And I think you're going to see Brax completely recover. I mean, he was 7 CS behind now, and now he's completely even with him. He's just going to keep on accelerating, especially with the boots now on him.
And this is another one of those heroes where you don't really want it to have free farm. Razor, if he has enough items, he's just got... If he has enough movement speed, even. Like, it's all movement speed for Razor. You see a lot of Razors going for Yules early sometimes. You see him going for the S and Y. Usually just like a passive... I'm just going to call it a Vambrace. Gunner, hang on, in the mid. 10
top
stacks
and mid.
of that slick.
Wow.
He
I
is
can't
going
believe
down
he let
there.
it happen. I guess he must have used Tornado for a ranged last hit or something, and Nick it was just an unfortunate timing for him, I suppose, because he just dove immediately onto him.
I mean, those are the kind of kills you want as a mid-bat rider, because like we
Well,
all had
Pingu.
mid-bat rider for a long time. Bot, yeah, Pingu is going to be in trouble here, but Scrooge McDuck just coming in there. The overpowered ability of Tether and the healing combination of Pingu's existence.
And that's the thing they need to be careful of, is Pingu has spent so much time mirroring the Earth Spirit while he was roaming that he's kind of fallen behind in the levels, but that's why the IO Abaddon is such a strong lane. He's always able to kind of get even more efficiency out of it. Well, he's trying to save the DD for Nick.
Nick does get EMP'd, but he is going to be purged off of the cold snap.
Perfect.
So he's got no mana, but he'll be perfectly fine. Like you said, he's got that bottle DD, so at any point in time, if he wants to re-engage, he can.
Radiant's bottom
The
tower
only
is under
downside with this draft, obviously, is that, like, Pingu isn't an aggressive
Oh,
roamer. Speaking of
SMD.
aggressive, though, well, I was going to say he was going to be in trouble, but gets the tether out just in time.
Very fortunate he had a creep wave there. Otherwise, or rather that Ocean was too far away, because that was definitely a dead IO.
Dire's
Timber.
top tower is under attack.
Timber might be in trouble here, but does get out in a good spot, so Single King, he'll be fine too. Not much like last game, where last game we had people that were at consistently low health, a consistent time of the game. the very
Yes,
early phase.
the Morphling games are quite stressful to observe.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is, right? Like, you've done plenty of solo casting yourself. You know how hard it is to observe, produce, cast, etc.
I swear, sometimes the Morphling just doesn't want to be alive. That's what
I've seen Dota WTFs where Morphling is sitting at the agility. Ooh. I thought Ocean was going to be able to get a lucky aftershock.
Well, and with Gunner there as well. And does he keep the cart alive? Yeah, he's able to keep the cart alive, and this bot tower with the cart is going to be under siege.
I mean, this is a very early tower. It's so much gold if they, well, not if, when they end up getting it, because they do have the cart alive. It's just going to tear into this tower. Brax completely uncontested, running around with the OP Falcon Blade, still not nerfed yet. I mean, it was nerfed a little bit, but it's... No, it wasn't nerfed. It was buffed.
Yeah, I was going to say...
Yeah, well, I mean, there you go. The OP Falcon Blade.
It's funny as well because Brax is really one of those players. I think he's one of the few players that has really valued it a lot. I feel like I see him buying it on more heroes than anyone else.
I was going to say, I felt like Top was going to have a little bit of action there because I
Single?
saw Tingle King in a bit of trouble there. He is going to get cold snap, though, so the latch is going to not be there. And Sammy wanted to confirm the kill. They'll find the trade. Meanwhile, they kill off Brax in the bot lane. Little Nick showing off the lasso with, I believe, at least 3 stacks of sticky. Yep, 3 stacks.
Yeah.
I wasn't even looking. I just wanted a random number.
And
Good
that's
kills all
it took.
across the map. They did take
It
that
was,
tower, so the economy is there. But it's you don't want to be throwing away Brax that quickly. Free farmed lane. Now it's sitting 2.9k.
One, it was a very sneaky TP. He TP'd down there after the creep wave died, and he didn't have the field, so he couldn't see underneath the tower in the trees. So Nick just sat there, and I think he went into the wave to farm it as fast as possible, and just got taken out for free, more or less. And now Nick has Boots of Travel. He's quite farmed on the Bat Rider.
Yeah, Brax trying to go for approximately the same build here. Little Nick's is a bottle, and Brax is the Falcon Blade. He will try to go for slow, but he brings them in. We'll try to siphon the damage. They know that Brax can't chase him, and with that ultimate up, Little Nick can't do much of the same.
He needs to be a little bit careful with the rotation coming in from Ocean and Husky, but I think he will be able to navigate out of this one.
Sammy's courier gets clipped in the meantime, though, in the top lane, where we see Tingle King is going to keep on trying to dive Sammy over here. We have 3 heroes in the top lane with a TP rotation from the Invoker. Not in time. They find this kill, and Gunner. Actually, he might be in trouble, too. Tingle King, they saw the NATO go out, and they now have the NATO of their own.
And man, Vol is such a high level, actually. Wow.
Yeah, this is a level 6 Rubik at 9.5 minutes. This is very reminiscent of a game, I guess, very recently, where a actually, no, he had it at 7 minutes. Gunner in trouble. He's getting chased down by Tingle King here. The Soul Ring is going to be there, but he will go invis as he is the Aquas Wex build. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, they are going to be able to find the kill on the bot lane. They're going to find the kill on Brax, and now the eventual kill onto Husky. They will throw out the cocktail, and they will find this kill.
And I mean, it's kind of a testament to Nick, where he's been making such so many good rotations and successful rotations that Vol has been able to take over that mid wave to get these levels. And the Cut are playing the map really fantastically. They're finally taking that safe laner's tower. They're going to be able to put a lot of pressure now. And when they want to break into this mid lane is the only question on my mind, because they want to get mid control. They want to be able to bleed into the 4Zoomers jungle because they have that Bat Rider. And with the BKB queued up, I mean, Nick is going at a blazing pace right now. Highest net worth.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's the Bat Rider. But speaking of which, Bat Rider in trouble here. 4Zoomers smoked up. They went for this kill. And this is going to be a very good kill for them to get when and if they get it. Okay, when they get it. And Brack's the one to get it as well, so that's a big chunky kill for him. And he's 300 gold away from his travels. Getting that will allow him to contest Nick as adequately as Nick has been able to contest this whole entire map. But he's got a BKB coming up on the line. Oh, top lane.
Caster's Curse, man. Compliment the guy, he's dead not 5 seconds later.
I mean, that's just how it is, right? Like, it's always Caster Curse. Everybody chalks it down to Caster's Curse. I believe Caster's Curse won a TI. Because they talked about the DD rune outside the pit, and Juggernaut grabbed it and Omni slashed and killed everybody. And then that was the end of the game.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I like that TI. I was there. Mid, Gunner just getting slammed by everybody here in the mid.
when something they haven't been able to accomplish is, I mean, Scourge just had a very free game, and this is that rotation to the mid lane that Tingle King can really show up whenever he wants to, but he's pretty happy just pressuring top, keeping the Ursa there, and they get a little bit of damage on the tower and trying to force these heroes out of their jungle now.
So yeah, Zoomers need to be careful here. Ocean might be caught here. He's got 2 stacks of that napalm. That Razor
He's
on the
taking a huge
sidelines,
stack
actually.
right now on Io, though.
On Io, what? Oh my goodness, that is a very big stack there. He's very happy to take that one. But
At the
back
same
down
time,
in
Nick.
bottom. Nick stunned up by Brax down here. Cold snap to follow. The purge is going to be there for
Kingu.
Kingu, but the NATO goes through just in time. And the Echo Slam to follow through. Ocean will find this kill out on the Nick, but Tingle King coming in there with the rotations. The TP out is going to be there as Tingle does not have the Eels quite yet. In fact, no, he
Needs to be
canceled the
careful.
TP. They want to go back on the Tingle here. He's in the cold wall. He's in the ice. And he's
cold
not
wall.
able to get it. Hey! Hey! Ice wall. Whatever. Cold wall.
Yeah, again, perfect aggression onto Nick. And now Brax, I mean, with the kind of counter boots of travel, he's always able to put himself where he needs to be. And I'm surprised that the cut, instead walking back bottom, they didn't put more pressure onto the mid lane. But they want to just keep on farming. SMD's timing is really the only thing that they're waiting for, as well as Little Nick's BKB. If they can hit both of those item timings at the same time, Zoomers are looking for a little bit of trouble. But Sammy,
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. Sammy just got slammed. That was a DD rune. No lasso even needed.
he did even rage. He just took it on the chin.
I mean, if you see a DD Bat Rider and you know the man has literally been free farming this game, like, what do you do, right? What is the correct response? Die? That's all you got. So,
Ping it with the haste.
yep. It's level 7 now as well, so we'll have full Aphotic Shield, which is great. That cooldown is very long, actually, at level 1. It's 12 seconds. And then, yeah, that's it. I mean, this is kind of just a slow game. I say slow.
And
it's 8-4 at 14 minutes, so there's been about a kill every minute.
Top.
And there's another kill about to happen in this top lane. The Brambles do go out.
There we
Tingle
go.
King will claim it. They
Well,
will
Vol
TP
is
in the
going
shade.
to go down, it looks like.
Looks like they still chant Totem, so not really much of a great steal there. Meanwhile, Brax does get picked off
Same
in the
time.
jungle by Little Nick. Now they're going for this kill back onto Vol. Well, I say back onto Vol. They're still going on it. We're back up to Vol where we see him go down, but losing Brax during this whole entire transaction is not exactly ideal.
And it is a little bit of a slow game. The only heroes we're really seeing playing aggressively on the Innocent map is that top lane. It's just Vol and Tingle King, but they're making space for the Io. That's the trade, right? You're seeing the space being made for Io, and he's 400 away from his Ags. And that's when this game is going to get really scary for 4Zoomers, because if they can keep him up, if it's really up to Gunnar at that point to keep the mana down from the Io. If the Io is able to just kind of walk over everyone, run at you, if Gunnar dies, I think the team fights are really going to go south for Zoomers.
I mean, Gunnar is the best real team fight that they have. That's their setup.
Ocean.
They got NATO back up in the top lane. Yeah, Ocean's in a bit of trouble here, getting jumped on by Tingle King. And still taking quite a bit of damage. Doesn't get hit by the Molly, but is
There
still
he
going to
goes.
go down slow and steady by Tingle King with the Chakram.
When that's 2 times in a row, you see them kind of dying. This is the empty lane with the free farm, but without their tier 1 tower up here, it's just a risky place for them to play. But, I mean, these item timings are about to get hit. Ags is done on Io. I think Nick is, 200 away from his BKB.
Yeah, he's about that way. Tingle King just picking up his Yules as well.
And they're going to want to defend mid with this Ags if they can get here in time.
I mean, they're laying into it. Brax does manage to find at least one TP, throwing out the plasma field. But with that EMP, it does zone him out for a little bit. DD on Gunnar, though, so they can't go terribly aggressive here. But with 15 seconds left on that rune, they might be able to do something afterwards. But you could see with the I wasn't gonna say with the ward vision, but there's a lack of ward vision that 4Zoomers could just wrap if they really wanted to. And you see that they're just like kind of leaving. They're just hanging out in the bot.
is under attack.
Well, and this is what they need to do. They need to burn Scourge's mana. They need to be as annoying as possible for him, because if he's just able to sit up front, have the overcharges ready, play with his Timber, play with his Abaddon, then this game is going to get really difficult for them. Even though it's only a 2k gold lead, this is really their big timing that 4Zoomers need to be really cautious about taking a bad fight here.
I mean, the rest of I was gonna say they do see that there's 2 top, but I mean, Gunner's just gonna lay into this tower.
Is under attack.
No
Radiant's
deny
middle
for it. And that's a
deny.
good kill for Zoomers because now they could re-rotate into their jungle, and Little Nick is in here. They don't see him. He's TP'd out just in time.
Radiant's bottom
That's
tower
actually
Timber might
Tingle
be in
King.
trouble though.
Yeah, no
Gunner pumps the
TP.
Sunstrike, but the Cold Snap is there with the follow-up Urn and the Yules
Bramble.
out from himself. The Bramble is there, but Single King. King of nothing, but death. Oh, I didn't know there was a Dark Willow specific comeback for killing Timbersaw. That's an interesting one.
Well, and I think Tingle just needs to reassess, regroup with this team, because they really are, I mean, they're the strongest unit in the map right now. If these 4 heroes run into anyone, I really think 4Zoomers are going to lose a team fight. But this ward that's about to time out is scouting literally everything. But they might have seen Ocean's Blink Dagger. I'm not sure. It is nighttime, but Zoomers want to get on the aggressive a little bit.
I wasn't going to say they might be poising to Roche, but there's no life steal on Ursa. In fact, that's not even what Ursas do anymore. So
is under attack.
those good old days where you would just buy a life steal item of some sort and walk
And
into the Roche
Tingle.
pit. Tingle.
The Timber.
He is going to be in trouble here. Brax with the available move speed, but the Yules is there. And the rest of the TPs
But
with
Nick-
the IO relocating the jungle. Nick finding a jump on this Invoker on the sidelines. Gunner's going to be in trouble here. He will go down. They do steal Chant Totem, but doesn't even matter. They get Little Nick as well. They get Little Nick. Ocean gets the kill out onto... Ocean dies to Nick out in this
Yeah, they were just
transaction.
a
Did they
little
even
bit
last?
too confident. No, or they
No, they lassoed
one.
to open, right. They
Yeah, they
lassoed to
lassoed
get
to
Gunner,
open.
and now they're going to take this mid tower. And that's what you need for the cut. They need to be getting these pickoffs so they can actually end up putting on pressure onto the map because they're not the quickest tower pushers.
And it was just a really good find from Nick. I don't think they really expected him. Brax is actually in a lot of trouble as well now.
Yeah, he's almost
Looks like
got
he'll
caught
walk
out
it
there
off,
by Nick.
but
No lasso
and he's
available.
TPing back in.
Oh, Ocean gets lifted up immediately, not brought into anything quite
Oh,
yet. They
Vol.
know the Blink Dagger exists. This looks like I was gonna say it looks like there was a good echo to do there, but they have to let it go. Vol is just slowly losing damage. And now you see the Cold Snap out on Pingu. He has to pop his ult for borrowed time to try to get that dispel, but
Looks like he's down too.
slowly getting picked off here. The damage is available.
And no lasso. Cores of the cut don't get punished. They are able to walk out. See if they get caught on the bounty runs. Ocean's pinging him out.
Yeah, they're pinging Little Nick.
He can just BKB TP, but he definitely doesn't want to do that if at all possible.
He gets hit with the bullwhip here. He is not going to lose all that damage quite yet. Barax really wants to chase him, though. They will purge off one stack of that sticky. And Little Nick, he is BKBing out of that one, like you were talking about. He doesn't want to do it.
Doesn't get greedy.
but-
Doesn't get greedy, but good.
It hurts to use a BKB just for TPs. It always
Especially the
does.
10-second.
Oh, yeah, that's the real hurt. Right there.
But at the same time, I mean, the cores haven't really slowed down at all. The big issue is that the Ursa, who hasn't been showing up to any of these skirmishes, has just been playing Ursa with the Battle Fury. He's farming up quite quickly. And that's the thing you always need to be afraid of, is you lose a fight when the enemy team has an Ursa, or even you lose track of the Ursa for a little bit, gets a little bit of net worth, and then suddenly he has an Aegis, suddenly he has a Basher, suddenly he's killing your Rubik.
Zoomers.
It's
They're smoked up, by
Pingu's
the
in
way.
trouble.
Pingu is going to
They
get
got
caught, though.
Vol.
Looks like they want to go for the Rubik first here, and they had just stabbed the Ursa jumping in. The Echo Slam goes through. And they don't
Nick doesn't
steal
have
anything
BKB.
good here. It looks like Ocean might be the one going down here initially as the Timber does
Tingle.
come in. They find the kill on a Husky as well as Ocean, but Pingu is going to fall as in this transaction. Gunner we picked though, and they will be able to find the 1-1 trade-off there. They want to get this kill on Brax, but Tingle King just
he misses.
unable to do anything. The man's got no HP and damage. He has to leave, and the only one to survive this fight is the Io. And he had no Dominator unit either. The man's got no boots. You don't build boots on Io. So he's
Oh, and Brax actually got greedy,
Oh.
but he will be fine.
I mean, he wanted to get that Dominator creep. That's 200 gold. That's big
I believe
money.
the way that fight started was Sammy Boy actually just blinked onto the creep and killed it, and then Or actually, no, I think he ditched the creep to relocate in because he got ported back to the triangle, and as soon as he got taken out, Tingle King just got punished.
Is this Kobold enchanted?
Radiant's bottom
What?
tower
Where's
is
this
under
Kobold
attack.
from?
Is it a shovel?
Oh yeah, it must be a shovel one because it's just running after him. Speaking of running, no
Ooh,
Brax
Brax.
needs to start running himself, but
He
Little
needs
Nick.
it. Nice. Perfect for motion.
Good jump with that stun there. He was trying to hold Lasso until it was the ideal situation. Brax, I don't think you want to keep staying here, though. It's a very hot spot. No ward to scout out that rotation, but they could assume with nobody on the map.
Well, and that's something you need to be really cautious of if you're the cut. If you get a little bit too, I think, comfortable in your seat, then this game is going to start becoming out of control. Because this Ursa is getting items. He's continuously farming. He's going to continue to get these bigger items, and Basher queued up, and Nick actually just TP'd top. I mean, Samboy could do some really annoying things to him.
Yeah, he could, but doesn't want to go on him quite yet. It might be the Basher timer that he's waiting to do solo pickoffs like this. But, I mean, you're right. Sammy has literally been free farming this whole entire game. Like, it's the Ursa with the Battle Fury. You love it and you hate it, and because it's in your pubs. That's why you hate it. So... yeah, this is this game is going to go out of hand here as soon as this Basher is live. I mean, it already kind of is out of hand, but the net worth you could see actually with the net worth graph that it's been relatively in the 1 to 2K range on the side of the cut for quite some time here.
And I think the big difference there is Gunner is
Nick.
quite slow, but
He has to BKB if he wants to live here. But
he doesn't get the knockback.
Yeah, he knocks him forward. And Brax TP's in. There are creeps available, and with that TP in, Cut need to get out of here. Ursa is here as well. They find the slow onto Pingu. He will purge it off for the time being, but the Bullwhip will slow him down as well. Stealing the damage here. They're not even phased if Pingu goes into his ultimate because that's just more damage to steal.
Perfect.
Ocean finds the stun, and Pingu will go down.
And they might go poke Roche a little bit.
I mean, you got 174 stolen. Half a Razor's ult is still going, and Abaddon is one of the better support heroes that can kind of like contest the pit. Unless your Ursa just gets bashed twice
Io
in a row.
is quite annoying, though.
Yeah, the Io is here. Brax losing a lot of HP to said Io.
Oh, the double core.
They do block. The
Oh,
Echo
no!
Slam actually
Roche
gets
stopped his
denied. And they do end up still fighting in this team fight here. Brax trying to get something, but I think they might have just not heard that the Echo Slam is not available. It got clapped by the Roshan. They are going to go still for Tingle King if they want it, but my bad being thrown out there by Scrooge McDuck and Tingle King. One stray right click coming out from Gunner. They will find this kill, and I mean, I feel like they're going to keep going in for this Roche. It's uncontested.
I think that's kind of the throw almost at this point. The Furious Wipes did get reset, but they got in there a little bit too fast. Nick didn't have BKB on the initial Fissure that broke out that fight, but the Terrorize came through from Husky, and neither core BKB. Scrooge McDuck used his 10-second after Sammy Boy took away 80% of his HP and just died for free afterwards, and that's the fight you don't want to give up, especially after you've been holding the lead pretty much this entire game, because now these better late game cores are going to finally take kind of the game back.
I mean, it definitely feels like that control, like you were talking about, it's already gone. The 2K net worth lead now swapped over to the side of Zoomers, and that Basher live and ready. The Basher wasn't even in that team fight.
And they're going on bottom. This is what they need to do.
Yeah, they find Gunner here. They do relocate the Io in as well. The EMP is going to be there. There are 2 here available from Zoomers, but I don't think you go on this. You don't have anybody else.
It was a good try from Scourge McDuck.
I say that though.
They see him relocate back.
Links in. He does have the Basher. The reload out. Just in time. Well, not even out, actually. He's just right over
Brax needs to be careful. He got telekinesis.
Brax, he's in trouble here. You're right. He's taking a lot of damage. He actually just gets slowly pinged down by Tingle King and Husky. Trading stuns. Thanks to that Lotus Orb, and it looks like Timbersaw is going down as well. This is the whole the scenario of you probably shouldn't have got in there. But Brax is just playing aggressively, and it's not paying off.
Well, and that's the issue. If you let the cuts line up, if you can hold them down, you can get the control on these 2 kind of wild heroes, that being the Batrider and the Io, then you can definitely take the fight. But as soon as the fight gets out of hand, the Ursa's gonna start to get kited. I mean, that was a fight where Gunnar died in the beginning, and they still decided to stick around, and it was definitely some greedy plays coming in from Zoomers.
That typical NA greed. I mean, I say that, I probably would have done the same. These are all pro players. They're like beyond better than me in every way, shape, and form. I've seen Brax play. He plays with zero quality on his game, though. Like, you see the sparkly cosmetics on literally any hero. They're not sparkly, and they don't even look like cosmetics, though. Speaking of looks and problems, Ocean was trying to go for a kill out onto Tingleist, but is not going to find it. They steal Fissure, which is an amazing steal for the Rubik. They're going to hold on to that one for a long time.
When it's something they've been hesitant to do, I think, mostly because of the Earthshaker and the Dark Wool in the side lanes sitting behind the cores. But they haven't really been making too many relocate plays, but the 4Zoomers are kind of playing into the Cuts game plan, I think. They're getting these kind of free pickoffs, and if SMD is able to get a little bit more farm, he's got the Sanj and Kaya almost, I mean, in the works right now, but the Sanj already on his hero, then, I mean, this IO is still fantastic at kiting the Ursa, and that's that core matchup that I think you still need to be a little bit afraid of. If they can get out of the Ursa's basher, then I think this game is still in the Cuts ballpark.
I mean, that's a very hard ballpark to try to live by, though, because eventually this Ursa is going to have the Abyssal Blade. He already has a Blink Dagger. I mean, that's probably why he's not going for it immediately. You see him building the Scotty next. But,
An atypical build, but it's just so necessary versus the IO. You just take away his healing, and then he just feels so much weaker.
I mean, it's just, Sammy just runs at people. That's the best thing about an Ursa game like this, is that if he does get kited, that's going to suck. But he's got BKB. He'll have Leap. His very short barrel stuff ranged Earth Shock Leap.
When a minute 17 left on the Aegis.
Lasso trade-off here as the counteractive stuns are going to be there, but Brax just getting lifted
over both
left
fissures.
and right. He's on top of all those fissures. BKB is going to be there from Sammy. The flamethrower is being burnt out by the Timbersaw here. He's not going to get hit by the bash, but Single King losing Sunstrike. Who goes in there? They will find that trade, and they're not done quite yet. Scourge actually in the back lines here. Cold Snap not available.
They still have
already been expended. The BKB on Gunnar, though. He is going to throw out the Tornado. Doesn't find... Actually, he does find Scourge, but unable to find the follow-up stump of the bash is there out onto Pingu. Dies almost immediately. They want to get the kill on the Bat Rider.
BKB's gone on Gunnar.
He's going to be feared here while rooted, but perma-stunned in the backlines. They find the kill on Gunnar, however, because they're splitting up this team fight. And they lose 3 for 2 here. Then you don't want to be trading like this. This is not a great trade.
Well, and Gunnar, he popped his 10-second right here and then just ran up the hill. I guess he was trying to make space. But he just falls after the 10 seconds gone. They just turn on him, they lift him, Fissure him. And Vol having this Fissure is causing a lot of problems for Zoomers. Ocean's got to not let that happen again.
I mean, it's like literally the best spell for a Rubik to steal in this game. There's no real other spell that can provide the same amount of utility of having Fissure. It does immense amounts of damage. You get the bonus cast range off of it because he's got the Aether Lens.
And the Supremacy. It's too strong. Too strong of a spell. But Aegis is gone. But Abyssal Blade is up.
Yeah, this is kill time for Sammy. This is where he goes out and finds the Rubik all on his own and just presses W and then presses whatever his keybind is for Abyssal Blade and just immediately annihilates a hero. But speaking of annihilate, Ocean in trouble. Picked off immediately by the cut. Everybody there. IO has 1 total audio clip for every kill that IO ever gets. So.
And now I think the focus is just going to shift around being alive during this Roshan, playing the top side of the map. SMD has this the Heart of Tarask already queued up. I kind of wish he did build into that Halberd, but maybe respecting the damage coming from the spirits by getting the Kaya, finishing it with the Sanj, but I don't know, the Cut just want to keep on finding these small pickups. They really want to avoid major team fights, I feel like. Oh, they see Gunnar.
I mean, this is a major pickup if they get it, and they will indeed, even with the IO relocate. They will find this kill. Tingle King very happy to take that one.
And I know Ocean was dead, but I'm surprised that he was even up there because we've seen Husky and Ocean play so well behind their cores to keep them safe in this game, so plays like that can't happen. But just a little bit of a lapse, perhaps. Sammy?
They didn't blink in there. They did have the Molotov with the follow-up stun. From Fissure. I believe Fissure's about... Oh, Fissure did expire, so it is gone.
Radiant's
Looking for
bottom
another good
tower is
spell
under
to
attack.
steal.
They don't have lasso, but
Oh, you see them coming into the bot lane here. Brax, he is getting slowly chased
does
down
do a
here.
lot of
Brought back
damage.
with the cocktail, but with that damage siphon, Brax is not in a great
flamethrower.
scenario here. The flamethrower slowly burning him up. They will find the kill. They did manage to see the Shaker with the IO link in, but not able to chase him down. He's got a haste rune. They have to reset from that one, and Zoomers need to stop losing heroes. Just out the blue.
It's sort of these soul plays that are right now. While Roche is dead, it doesn't matter too much, right? You're going to continue to farm on your two other cores. I said as Gunnar is respawning from his little pickoff, but Sammy Boy is still accelerating at the fastest pace in the game, and it really is going to boil down to when this Roshan respawns, because it's going to literally direct the entire attention of the map over there.
It's going back.
I think
to
the cut
sky.
are ready though. They've got really good pit fight.
I mean, we haven't really seen the Abyssal Blade even like kind of take off, and it will be based on this Roshan, and I believe this is still number 2, right? So we're not seeing the
the
shard
refresh
or
the shard
Exynth.
yet.
Could be up and now. It is not. Not the longer one though. It's only a minute and a half.
And I'm checking buyback statuses, and I mean, on the cut, they're really playing breakneck. They're gonna smoke without buybacks, with Roshan maybe respawning in a minute. Maybe smoking because they see that, but if they can get Brax before he gets the Lotus Orb off, that's definitely a target. But he's just so fast. With Quicksilver, he's 550 MS.
It's a very fast boy. Very fast boy indeed. But it looks like they're not going to be able to find a pickoff. In fact, it looks like Zoomers themselves are going to smoke. Try to find a pickoff of their own, and they need this, as they have been getting picked off consistently themselves. This might
And
be
they
a
need to be
smoke and attempt to
careful.
Roche counter, though. But it's
If
not
they
up.
find Tingle King immediately, the DD.
Yeah, they're going to
Oh,
bait
no.
that DD rune, and the bait
He took it.
indeed. He took
Oh, he
it
purged
actually
it.
instead of going for the first hit bash, but there's the Abyssal Blade blink. But Lasso immediately there out by the Bat Rider. He's going to be bringing this Ursa all the way
He's
up to the
splitting
high
the fight
ground.
up.
And he's just kited completely out of there. This team fight had
Gunnar?
to be disengaged from this alone. Gunnar pops the BKB. He is invis, but still revealed. Lifted up by this Rubik. He's going to be in
gone.
trouble here. It's the first trade going out here. Sammy trying to find at least a return, but Pingu with borrowed time available.
Ocean.
They find the kill on Husky in the backlines. Tingle King trying to escape Sammy's wrath here. They will at least be able to find one trade here, while Brax will be able to pick off Pingu. They want to get for the kill on
Ocean.
Vol, but Scourge and McDuck in the backlines finding the kill on Ocean, and now here comes the IO, big beefy boy himself.
It's gonna be a
You
rampage.
It's a rampage for Scourge. He gets it. SMD. Easy Dota.
They split that fight up honestly beautifully. They were able to tear them apart at pretty much. I don't know. Scourge McDuck literally said, "I'm taking the supports." Kills the supports, kills Gunnar. He splits the fight up, and it was Nick and Tingle King that were keeping Sammy Boy at bay. It took so long for Tingle King to die. I think he had 15 or 16 Fury Swipe stacks, and he was just able to spend so much time, so much focus diverted away from Scourge. And that's the hero that Ursa needs to focus. Ursa needs to take down Scourge. Otherwise, your ES can't get into the fight. Brax can't get close. And once the BKB's gone on Invoker, it's impossible. Oh,
Goodness.
No.
All of Husky's HP removed in literal seconds.
I mean, they're just going to be able to kind of sit here. Scourge, no fear. He's got a heart now as well. And that's the power of the safe lane IO right there.
I'm so happy that I get to see a safe lane IO pop off as much as it has. I mean, now this is a free Roche. This is free Cheese. This is free Aegis. Like, they're not going to rotate heroes for it. Ursa's not going to walk in the pit and do anything about this one. You could Echo Slam it, but that's all that you'd be doing since your Invoker's bottom. Like, it's a free Roshan.
Free Aegis.
Everything. Free Aegis, free Cheese. And they've taken the Outpost, so it's free Outpost. There is a ward, I think, that might have seen Ocean for a split second here. Oh, they're creeps. So they do have creeps in the mid that they do see him floating by, but SMD with the Aegis. It's going to be a scary game. It's 11k net worth lead for the cut, by the way. Right before that team fight, it was not even remotely close to that. It might have been like a 4k. In fact, I could just look at that right now. Let's see. This is the big team fight right here. Radiant Courier killed. Yeah, so right about at that start of the team fight, it was a 2K net worth lead for the cut, and now it's 12K.
Well, and that's the big issue, I think, is with the way that the game has gone so far, you're going to continue to run out of targets. Really, the easiest hero for you to just easily pick off and take out is Vol, but Vol's positioning has been really solid in all of these previous engagements. He just has not been found out. He's just able to kind of cause hell in the backline, along with Scourge, who's just been, I mean, you literally cannot get close to him. If you're on top of him, it's great, but now that he's got the Aegis, he can just play with all this confidence. And they found Sammy.
Oh, they relocate onto Sammy here. They're gonna find him. This is a huge pick-off. They got a BKB for him if they want to use it, but he knows he's just dead here. He's gonna buy as much time as possible, but I mean, he actually has no buyback. So
he bought
there
out.
is no time
he bought
to
out
buy.
the Ags.
Oh, he bought. Oh no. Yeah, he did buy
Gunner,
Ags, so he
if you have
bought
the
out. He
BKB
might be able to
here.
find Gunner.
Oh no.
Reveal is not available, actually. True. Tingle King does not have it. Abaddon in the back lines. Just sentries, though, but they'll be able to take this tower pretty easily, and I think they want to force the buyback, but they probably know that he has no buyback. They saw the Aghanim Scepter, and they know that he's not lead net worth anymore, but he's lead net worth for his team.
Well, and you still have this problem where you need to get a really tight angle to really get any of your spells off. And I mean, I was talking about the Evoker, I felt like so long ago, trying to burn mana of these heroes, but these heroes don't really care about that aspect of the game anymore. He got two.
Lasso linking. He finds the counter Lasso, but Gunner, he has the BKB immediately.
He's
will
out.
be enough is the question. It will be. He'll stun up for the time being, but SMD, he's not phased by this at all.
They're
He
stuck
wants
in
to
the
keep
fountain.
going on him. Earthshaker on the sidelines, though. The slam is available if they want to do it. But the problem is there's no damage follow-up. Your Ursa is dead for another 30 seconds. Now you have to buy time for that.
And all of the
Oh
heroes
my
on the cut are
goodness.
just so tanky. They just don't care at all. And I mean, yeah, they overcharge Pingu. They get the bonus attack speed. They've got the shard on ES, but
Well, they will throw out a meatball, so it slows it down for the time being. Pingu is going to get stunned up here while Scourge does have the cold snap on him, but returning to the whole team is unfazed portion of this Dota game. Sunstrike goes through, lands, does 0
true
damage.
backdoor, no less. And they're just going to move towards mid.
Now they'll force that Pingu out. They know the Roshan, or they know the Roshan. They know the Urza's up. The Roshan's still dead, obviously. The Cheese and Aegis still alive. Oh,
And with MKB on Wisp as well, I mean, if anybody gets to right click anybody on the enemy team, he's just going to start laying into them. And Zoomers have to be thinking how they get into these fights, because the game can't go much longer like this. They're going to lose their top outpost. They're going to have a little window if they would like to smoke, but
I mean,
Here we
the
go.
smoke window is the only window they've got. And
see Vol.
Sammy
Oh,
is
no.
leading this, but you don't really want to be throwing heroes out early
good
right
jump.
now. There is a good jump, though. They get the Rubik kill. Oh, they don't get the Rubik kill, actually. He's able
too
to disengage,
tanky.
but he's going to be force-stabbed back into the fight. Sammy Boy trying to go for the kill on Pingu here, not able to find the bash. Vol is going to end up buying back for this transaction.
Gunner.
Pingu will be the first one to fall, while Gunner on the sidelines. No, never mind. This poor Shaker is going to be picked off, while Gunner very low, going to get clicked off here by a cocktail from Little Nick. They do find good trades. There's a bounty rune here. Tingle King does
Still
manage to zip
BKB.
in just
Oh,
in
Sammy
time.
boy.
Sammy with no HP, but the BKB just in time. He's actually going to be fine. Tingle King the one being in trouble here. Brax wants the kill, but
Oh,
SMD
he's
in the
in.
back lines gets this kill on Husky. He wanted to go for more here, but he's got a reload in 3.
He's going to get taken back, but
He was very close to getting this kill on Sammy. Inches away from death.
I mean, buyback forced out from Gunner, and yet again, you're not able to find these Echo Slams. You're not able to get the structure back that you need for 4Zoomers to fight. The cut just are so chaotic. Once the fight starts out, Nick is just able to kind of hide, because all of the focus is on this Timber and Io, and just gets a completely free lasso on Gunner. It just feels like it's so easy for the cut to execute a lot of these fights, because they're these big issues that the Zoomers just keep on having to deal with.
These big issues in the form of a cube that is destroying your every fiber of being,
Exactly.
more or less.
And I mean, he still has space. He still has another slot. Like, I guess
Oh.
we'll see what it goes to. But
Oh, he found the leveler. Oh no,
the siege item.
that's gonna be the big ticket item here. You just you tether with Abaddon, and you just see. No, he sent it back. What is he taking instead?
Maybe the Minotaur horn. Yeah, we'll see.
No, he
Might even
he
take
sent the
both.
leveler to take it back.
I see. I
Okay.
see.
Well, anyway, I mean, SMD, top of the net worth here. He's sitting with a 5K gold in the pocket. I mean, I highly doubt we're going to see it, but, you know, if you have so much gold and you want to save for buyback, why not go for the Mach 2 helm with the
No.
Yeah,
Never.
no, I'm joking, of course. There's no way that anybody would ever want to build the Mach 2 helm.
Maybe
If
if
anything,
it
he would go
gave-
for the Ags Consume.
Maybe if it gave you, 50 damage, 40 attack speed, and removed your movement speed cap, that would be, then people would buy it.
Yeah, 20 all ats and 8 armor and 8 HP regen. Not really great, to be honest. This is like one of the worst items in Dota right now is Mach 2 helm. And
I
the
mean,
sample size for it is very bad because
Dire's
nobody
top
buys it.
tower is under
And I mean, the
attack.
cut are just able to push. They have all the options. Zoomers don't want to show any of their heroes. If anything, they want them to run into them. But the cut are being completely disciplined. They have to smoke. Yep, they're gonna try it out, but they're just gonna force this tower. They're gonna just start hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, they have to respond, and like you're talking about, Zoomers, they're
If they
5-man
get
smoke in
Vol,
the back.
Vol's a
They're
good
gonna
start.
find Vol, but
Oh no!
Vol blinks away just in time. The only one nearby is going to be Pingu, and he's got plenty
got
of utility,
Gunner.
and the bait is there. They're actually going to put this Invoker up onto the high ground. He can't do anything. No Blink, no Force Staff, no Yules, no nothing. He has
No,
to
Nick.
TP BKB home. And they want to go for this kill on
No.
Sammy. Husky's going to be the first one to fall, while SMD, he's just clicking in. They do find a stun out onto Vol on the sidelines. The buyback comes out by Husky
Where's the
immediately, while
slam?
Brax is just slowly dying to Io Spirits, but Io going to be in trouble here, actually getting very low.
No!
Basher gonna whiff it, and they can't quite get this kill. They have to disengage, but they have to re-engage. Tingle King in the back lines doing the exact opposite of both, as he wants to go for this kill on Brax. The fire slowly purging him away as they will find this kill. Sammy playing over-aggressive here, but the kite is available. They kite him
It
away, and
would've
Io
been-
reloads
oh
out,
my
but they're like,
goodness.
okay, Io reload out? We need to fight this cube.
They're
right
bringing him
now.
back.
They're
This is
poised
rough.
for it. He's back. The Abyssal Blade. They will find this kill on the companion cube.
21 stacks on the IO. There's just nothing he could do at that point. It would have been an even faster death, but Ocean, he dipped his toe into the firefight and he wasn't able to get the blink off. He slammed the ground again, but getting that IO kill is massive. They need to get as much as they can out of the map right now. Buybacks, map control. Roche isn't alive, but might respawn in 2 minutes. Or I guess he will respawn in 2 minutes. But that was the first convincing fight where Sammy Boy was able to hit people.
I mean, that's what happens when you let the... I don't want to say you let the Ursa free farm, because again, now that's late in the game. That's not really a
Tower has fallen.
sort of point to use
Yeah,
anymore.
everybody's got farm at this point, you know.
Yeah, exactly. But you see Sammy, he's buying all in again. Like, he bought out for the Ags, and it bit him in the back, and now he's bought out for the Swift Blink, and, I mean, he's sitting at 1k needed for buyback. So if he gets picked again, that wouldn't be great for him, but they know that the Roche is
Radiant's middle tower is
not
under
up, actually.
attack.
It's up in a minute and a half. That will be the big one, though. It'll be the Ag
And-
Synth, or it'll be the Refresher Shard.
And I mean, 4Zoomers needed to do exactly what they did. Losing a fight that close to their base, if they didn't buy back, find something, then they would have lost even more buildings, possibly even more heroes. But now this Roche is, I mean, this is the most important thing. This is really Zoomers' shining light, because this is the only place where they can force the cut to come to.
Radiant's
So if they can get a nice position on Volt, it's so unfortunate that the field didn't hit the Rubik.
So they break the courier. in the pit
Smoke
here.
for smoke here.
Pingu is smoked, but it is going to be revealed. They find the lift, actually. The double down Yules, thanks to the last
Gunner.
But immediately, they go for this jump on Gunner. They know there's a sentry there, but the fresh Aeon Disc, as well as the Minotaur Horn, will keep him alive. Tornado goes through, though. It's going to be a nice steal if they get this kill out on Sammy.
BKB.
Huge. But Cocktail, that's not going to slow him down. Sammy is going to get out of that one, and like you're saying, the BKB was available. And again, restating what you've said earlier, this game is based on the Roshan fight.
If they get another,
Speaking of Roshan fight, they
Nick.
find this immediate jump onto Nick, but he does have the Ghost Scepter. He'll be able to disengage from this fight for the time being. Brax,
wait, Sammy.
meanwhile, going for Vol, but Sammy is going to get picked by Little Nick here. Immense amounts of damage with the follow-up from the IO as well. They want to get this jump on Brax, but there is going to be a stun with the follow-up.
They
Third
bought out.
secondary stun, but is going to be broken. Ursa buying back immediately, knowing, and loving. He's got to confirm the team fight. He needs
Lasso
to keep
in
heroes
5.
alive. Lasso is up very soon. is going to be
Oh,
another
Nick
Ghost
messed
Scepter
up.
use there, though. Nick is going to be stunned
Oh,
up, and the Echo
no.
Slam goes through, but BKBs were there to prevent it with the Yules falling up and snaking as well. Little Nick is going to fall. He's going to have the buyback from this one for the team fight to really turn around. Sammy Boy is going to be able to find this kill out onto the abandonment.
still has
Rax
BKB.
is going to fall. Tingle King slowly getting tickled down
Oh,
here
SMD.
as Gunner turning around with the radio deafening blast. They turn around, find SMD. They get the kill on him as well. Gunner coming back with a kill on the Pingu. With the buyback coming out from the IO, they want to get the kill on Sammy Boy. They know that he's on his dieback here. The stun follow-up. Sammy Boy tearing into Tingle King as
So
he too will
strong.
fall. They have to buy back again.
That's
Sammy Boy
it.
with a triple kill, but Sammy Boy losing momentum, unable to connect to anything else further. On top of that one, they will end up losing yet another hero. Sammy Boy unfortunately falls while Gunner is picked off on the side as well. Ocean being the last one alive, but the EMP and the cocktail being thrown out. Tingle King will claim this kill, claiming a multiple 5-man team wipe for 4Zoomers.
And no buybacks. No one across the board has buybacks. I think this is it. I think they just hit T4s. There's already creeps in the base. I think the game is over.
I mean, the game is over because the creeps are just clicking on the towers like you're talking about. There's 2 carts in the base as well. And it's yeah, it's G. I don't think 4Zoomers are actually one of the teams that GG out early, though. I think they like to stick it for as long as they can here, but this one is not sticking too well.
I mean, Gunner would have buy in, I think, 9 seconds, but he can't do this. This is just it. They just flooded the buybacks. They took too poor of a position, and the Gs are going to get dropped any second now.
No, Gunner wants it. He wants in. He wants this fight. But the EMP is going to be used immediately while Gunner jumps in for the last second there, but no. Unable to find any kills, any lives, anything. Slowly getting burned away from the Timber Saw. The cut will take the game number 1 of this 2-game series.
Safe lane IO, man.
I have to
They've
say
been
it was
practicing
scary for
it.
a little bit because it looked like 4Zoomers had it for a small portion of the game. But then it kind of went down.
And I mean, that's the trade, right? You have this Ursa that's free farming. You have this guy he can definitely kill the Wisp. If he sticks on him, he was getting Alacrity, he was getting all this attack speed. He was able to burst down the Wisp 1 or 2 times, and then the game kind of flipped on its head. But the cut just orchestrated those team fights so perfectly. Ocean could never find a slam that he wanted. Every single slam was forced, or it had to be late because there were just so many heroes running at him. The cut were just running at the Zoomers, and the Zoomers had to make a tough choice. It was either run or try and get the kills.
Run
Like-
or die trying to not run.
Exactly. Nick had some really key lasses. I mean, Nick completely removed Gunner from the game. I felt like Gunner, every single time Nick had lasso, he looked for the Invoker and he found the Invoker, and that was their counter initiation because Ocean, everybody else is dealing with Ocean, so I'm going to go get Gunner and put his life at risk. I think they just got a little bit greedy on Zoomers.
I mean, it's definitely good to get those picks onto Ocean like you're talking about and onto Gunner like you're talking about. And it's just because Gunner is the team fight setup. Ocean unable to get all of those echoes like you're talking about. The first one where it started going downhill wasn't even caused by a hero. It was just Roche smacking him.
He hit him. And they even got 2 kills off of it.
Yeah, it's just... It started going downhill for the Echo Slam department right when it came around that point in time. But that being said, ladies and gents, that was a very long game number 1. But there are 2 total games in this series. It is I don't want to call it a best of 2 because Twitch chat doesn't like it when I say best of 2. They also don't like it when I say windy. But you know what? I don't care right now. I'll call them wind for the rest of the day. But chat, you know I'm going to call it windy every time I can. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We've got game number 2 right around the corner. Don't go far.